All rise, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll get to everyone.
Roll call, Supervisor.
Yes, please.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yeah.
Councilman McCarthy.
Here.
Councilman Wareheim.
Here.
Councilman Creighton.
Here.
And Councilwoman Noak.
Yes, here.
The Board of Water Commissioners to authorize the following minutes approval Tuesday, July 15, 2014. Transfer of account SW2.1990.0900 contingency. And 3, reassignment of Christine Schutte, account clerk, part-time for the Smithtown Water District to the St. James Water District with no change in salary effective August 18, 2014.
Councilwoman Noak.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Anyone wish to be heard on water district matters? If not, we'll move on.
Item number 1, appointments to by the supervisor. Number 1, Supervisor Patrick R. Vecchio hereby appoints Stacy Sanders to the position of Executive Director of the Youth Bureau in the Horizons Department at a rate of pay of $80,000 per year, subject to a 26-week probationary period effective August 18, 2014. Item number 2, correspondence, parade run walk permit, Smithtown High School East. Number 2, parade run walk permit, Smithtown West High School, and parade run walk permit, Kermack High School, and building department report for July 2014. Move on to number 3, advertising for public hearing. The town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at 2 p.m. on September 9th at the town of Smithtown, Town Hall, 99 West Main Street, Smithtown, New York, to consider the town's entry onto certain real property located at 153 Alder Drive, Kings Park, town of Smithtown, New York. Section lot and block number 800-20-1-35 and lots 4105-4110. Said property reputedly owned by the estate of James Vita for the purpose of removing the accumulation of rubbish and debris, tall grass and weeds, overgrown vegetation, and bamboo within 10 feet of the subject property boundaries in violation of Chapter 221 of the Smithtown Town Code as per the recommendation of the town attorney and the director of public safety.
Councilwoman Noak.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Item number 2, the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for public hearing to be held at Town Hall, 99 West Main Street, Smithtown, New York, on the 9th day of September 2014 at 2 p.m. to consider proposed local law number 1-2014, amending local law 6-26-1984, Chapter 296 of the Code of the Town of Smithtown, titles Vehicle and Traffic as it relates to recreational vehicles and penalties.
Councilwoman Noak.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes.
All right, on this resolutions, item number 1, the town board, after due study and deliberation, the subject record to issue a secret negative declaration determination of non-significance in the following reasons. Stated by memorandum as dates indicated as per 1A and B, application for site plan approval by Bowler LI, DBA Kings Hopog for Bowler Hopog, and B, application for transfer of development rights, TDFR-PU-5.
Councilwoman Noak.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes.
Number 2, the town board to authorize the town clerk to advertise for the following bids to be returned to Town Hall, 99 West Main Street, Smithtown, New York, 11 a.m. on the dates indicated, 2A through D. Bid, planting of street trees, August 28, 2014. B, aerial lift maintenance and repair, August 28, 2014. C, open top trailers, August 28, 2014. And D, demolition of unsafe structure, September 11, 2014.
Councilwoman.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Councilwoman Noak.
Yes.
Councilman Creighton.
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes.
Item number 3, a town board to approve the following 3A minutes approval. 1, minutes of July 15, 2014. B, the Highway Department to purchase a heavy-duty tire changer. C, the Parks Department to lease a copier. Town clerk to issue a parade run permit to Comac High School. E, Town Clerk to issue a parade run permit for Smithtown High School West, or Smithtown West High School. Town Clerk to issue parade run permit for Smithtown East High School. G, change order number 3, pin 0758.77, improvements to Nichols Road. H, amendment to the collective bargaining agreement with the Smithtown Administrative Guilds concerning the position of Director of Youth Bureau, and to further authorize supervisor to sign said amendment on a form approved by the town attorney. I, zoning petition 2010-10 by Edward and Patricia Martella. Let me see what that is for. Okay, from WSI to professional business. J, the sale of 0.9 density flow rights from the town attorney, the town density flow rights bank. K, change order number 1, pin number 14-039, floor and roof drainage for the Smithtown Highway Department. L, establish the standard work days for various appointed officials as per the attached list. M, revision and update the Suffolk County multi-jurisdictional multi-hazard mitigation plan, and the town to enter into certain real property at 310 Smithtown Boulevard, Smithtown, New York, Wisconsin, New York. Such real property reputedly owned by Anna Lechner and the trust for the purpose of remediating and/or removal of unsafe conditions. And O, rescission of resolution 2014-640 from the town board meeting dated July 15th regarding demolition of an unsafe structure.
Councilwoman Noak?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Number 4, the town board to authorize the following for A and B. A is an escrow, and B would be donations from different clubs.
Councilwoman Noak?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Town board to authorize the controller to execute the following transfers as per 5A to H of the printed agenda, and 1 increase of revenue account.
Councilwoman Noak?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Number 6, the town board to authorize the supervisor to execute the following on a form approved by the town attorney as per 6A and B, agreement with the town of Smithtown and Tunsil America to provide emergency response unit for the senior citizens, and B, extension of agreements for 1 year, August 13th, 2015, for the use of the fire training center by the village of Nessequag and fire districts on the attached list.
Councilwoman Noak?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Number 7, the town board to approve settlements per the recommendation of the town attorney for 7A and B, $619.26, and the amount of $946.85.
Councilwoman Noak?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor?
Yes.
Under personnel, number 8, the town board to approve the following personnel matters as per 8A through J, exempt employee salary increases for 2014, a change of status, a termination, a part-time appointment, a termination, part-time appointment, seasonal appointment, a full-time appointment, and a full-time appointment as per the printed agenda.
Councilwoman Noak?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Abstain on F, yes on the rest.
Councilman McCarthy? And
Yes.
Supervisor?
Okay, and then,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
Okay, on the site plan review agenda, let's see, it's just a call to order. Two would be minutes approval of July 15th, 2014, and site plan resolution for conditionally approved site plan number 14-03 by Bolo Hauppauge for the proposed 1,200 square feet filling station and retail building with a 30-foot by 122-foot canopy as per the printed site plan agenda.
Councilwoman Noak?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor?
No. No. I voted. No.
No
On the last one.
Site
Okay.
plan.
Okay, we have one read on. The town board to authorize the purchase of a 200 square foot parcel of land zoned R15, which is currently developed as a town maintained road and adjacent right of way at the purchase price of $1.
Councilwoman Noak?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Bentley?
Yes. Eileen Rosenthal.
Thank you for hearing me, Supervisor and town people. The issue I speak of today is in the world that we live in seems very minute. But because we live in a crazy world, the fact that when I attended the beach on July 19th, my quiet time was interrupted by loud music, a rock and roll band, kids screaming, and I have lived in the township for 48 years. I happen to live in Kings Park, but I do make the trip up to Long Beach when I want some real peace and quiet. If you haven't attended the beach at Long Beach, my compliments to the staff. It's beautifully maintained, and for 48 years it has been quiet. When I heard all this loud noise and music, which of course reverberates on water, because when you have sound hitting water, it just gets louder. I tried to find out what was happening, and with the help of Marlene in Supervisor's office and the Commissioner of Parks, Sandra Miranda, tracked down the fact that a contract was signed with your approval on June of this year to a woman company known as Lovely Linda. Now, I have no problem with Lovely Linda making a living and running her concessions. What I have a problem with is the destruction of the quality of life in the township. When people such as myself and young families go to the beach, they want to hear seagulls, they want to hear the surf, they want to hear their kids having a good time. They do not want to be bombarded during swimming hours by these what I consider terribly offensive noises. So what I request is that, number one, when this woman does prepare a venue, which she has the right to do under the contract, but is clearly in violation of your code, Town Code 101-8B2, which speaks to no loud noises at the beach. So you approved a contract, but nobody restricted the time in which she can have these events. Now, she does have events at Short Beach, but Short Beach has a large distance from the water. It's a long walk down to the water there. And I don't object to her having an event with music, but after hours. I request that these be restricted to after the time the beach is closed. It also came to my attention that she does have a liquor license and a beer license, wine and beer. I don't know if she was selling that day, because I was just so annoyed. I needed to try to find the beach manager, who was not available, to find out what was happening. I had never encountered this when I had been up at the beach. So when I pursued it, it turns out she has this license for alcohol. My question is, does she have the right to have bottles on the beach? Because I did see someone drinking beer from a bottle. And that bothers me as a person who walks on the beach, or some other body's child. I don't want them getting hurt. So my request would be that you look into this a little further, possibly restrict her use of the public space until after hours, and also have her events listed publicly. There are no notices up at the beach, at least at Long Beach. There's a sign, live music and everything else up there, but no notice as to when she's staging an event. And I know she has the right to do that, because I read the town code. But I would request that it become public information and that restricted to hours. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Rosenthal. Mary Beth Siskind. Maybe we should look at that for next year. This one here. Can't do it too late now. Change
Good
the contract.
afternoon, Supervisor Vecchio, members of the town board. I'm following up on comments that I made in June about the traffic problems on Jericho east of Route 111. And I have a copy for each of you. I responded to Mr. Crawley's comments to some of the points that I made in June. So I will hand that out to you. The basic disagreement is that he feels at Franklin and Howell and the curve, he feels all the signage is perfect. And my point is there are loads of accidents that happen, so there is something wrong with the road. All right. The other thing is I wanted to, I have a copy of a letter I sent last summer when the DOT had canceled the project to widen Jericho from 111 East to 347. And I have a copy of that for Ms. Nowick. Speaking of Ms. Nowick, I believe the late Eugene Canataro wrote an article for the local papers about his perspective on unfinished business in the town of Smithtown. One important item was dealing with Route 25 east of Route 111. Consider the time that is lost and the aggravation that is endured as motorists are stuck in traffic heading east on Route 25. Isn't the wasted time and the aggravation of motorists something that needs to be addressed? As Mr. Frank DeRubis was quoted last summer in a local paper, there's a 3/4 mile traffic jam at that spot all the time. He was referring to the eastbound traffic on Route 25 beginning around the Senior Citizen Center. This tie-up is across from the Smithtown concrete site where the apartment complex is being proposed. No traffic problems? There is much heavier traffic on Route 25 than Terry Road, where the Galleria development is located. My last point is,
You'll finish up, right?
okay, yeah, that for Mr. Crowley talked about 40 miles per hour on residential streets is not abnormal. I agree with Mr. Patrick McGovern's comments at the July 15th Town Board meeting that there should be zero tolerance for violations of vehicle traffic laws. It is inappropriate as well as dangerous for vehicles to be traveling 40 miles per hour in a residential neighborhood, greater chance of injury with 40 compared to 30.
Thank you, Mrs. Siskind.
Okay, I'll give you copies.
Mr. David Myers, please.
Okay, and that's for you, and the rest just, sure. Me?
Thankfully, Joyce agreed to provide you with information I emailed her, so I'm not going to belabor that here. It would take more than 3 minutes to read the whole thing. I'm guessing it can be entered in as is. I would just like to state in that regard that the traffic department lowered the light 6 feet yesterday, which accomplished nothing. And the information cites a model lighting ordinance. You're familiar with everything I provided?
Yep.
And also
I am, yeah.
mentions a town ordinance prohibiting lighting going into residents' homes and yards. The other issues I would like to address are the removal of trees. Nissequag, I understand, prohibits people from moving trees on their private property, not just the town trees. The Arbor Foundation considers Smithtown one of only 100 green towns for its concern for the trees in the environment. I'm guessing that's the public parks. The same policy can be provided here. My next door neighbors removed all of the trees in their yard. It's a whole wind tunnel. I'm behind the Wisconsin Elementary School, that whole forest there. A wind tunnel, just like water speeds up when it's funneled, so does wind. The maple tree in front of you can take an aerial photograph of the damage from the hurricane, and I guarantee you where trees were removed, more severe damage was done at great expense to both the town and the utilities. And an aerial photograph can also, they also removed the town trees on a Sunday. There was no point to my calling in and having them fined $500 for each tree, because the damage was already done. An aerial photograph can reveal where town trees were removed. There used to be a canopy over my entire block. You'd walk down, it was like being in heaven. 3/4 of the block, the people have removed the trees from in front of their home. They should be replaced, and the people should be cited. And when people buy a home, they should be informed that they can't remove town trees. And there are enough people, garbage, mail, government officials who are on the street that can identify when trees are removed. When I called in about the trees, furthermore, being chopped up and then sold for firewood, which is using the residential property as commercial, that's supposed to be anonymous. They've, complained about other things to me because of that in retribution. The other thing I wanted to mention is that garbage. And if you ask the carting companies, this is done in other towns. I, for years, have put my garbage across the street so the garbage doesn't have to make 2 stops. There could be alternate days, Tuesdays and Fridays. Tuesday could be my side, Friday can be the other side. It'll save a fortune in gas and oil. And mowing can be done the same way. My next door neighbor is mowing for 2 hours, hedging for 2 hours, trimming for 2 hours. It's every day, and then this neighbor, that neighbor, Tuesdays and Fridays, this block can mow, Mondays and Wednesdays, that block.
Okay, you got a little more to go?
It's the other
Okay, but
ideas.
let me just speak to, you did
Pardon me?
mention street trees or town trees. We have a very stringent policy on that,
What policy?
on taking down town-owned trees.
Yes, I know, but you don't enforce it.
Oh, we most certainly do.
Well, I don't know.
Well, we
that
don't
these
have
people-
somebody driving around the street every day of the week in every street in town looking for trees that were taken down. Most trees are reported by a neighbor or someone else, or a town worker may observe it. And when we do find that, we do have a very strict enforcement.
Well, I can only tell you that it's been one, I've had to go to their door and say, don't complain to the town. If you have a problem, tell me, because it's retribution, retribution, retribution.
Well,
for 5
no,
years
that's not
since
the
they've
way it
been
ought to
dead.
work.
Pardon
Somebody
me?
violates the law, that person ought to be reported to the authorities.
Well, when you're asking neighbors to report against neighbors,
No, I'm not.
it becomes a
Okay.
rifleman episode, if you know what I mean. And I've been dealing with vendettas after vendettas. This street light, I'm guessing, was put in also as a vendetta to try and just annoy me because of my, mentioning about the trees.
I don't think so.
Whatever. Whatever the case may be regarding that, if that could be done more strictly, and also the other trees behind the homes, why can people just tear down, the environment? As I mentioned, in Nissaquag, my understanding is people can't do that. They have to, show that a tree is diseased or aged or whatnot. That could be, town-wide.
Okay, we've heard it, the public safety
Take that into
director's heard it.
consideration.
Okay,
And people, when they buy a home, should be advised about the town tree policy. Because I'm
Okay.
telling you, half my block is gone already, and nobody seems to have done anything about it, to my knowledge.
thank you, Mr. Meyer.
Thank you.
I'll move to close the meeting.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman Creighton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.